For most people, internet is synonymous with the web, doing most of their online activities via web-based applications. As such, web browsers like Google Chrome, Firefox, Opera, Safari and so on play a crucial role in everyday life, from spare time web browsing all the way to military, government and critical infrastructure. All popular browsers allow third-party developers and companies to develop improvements that can be added as extensions, making their usability even more tailor-made to the user's needs. From spell checkers, downloaders, ad blockers, screen recorders, password managers and many other extensions, they have become an everyday utility for most internet users. But did you know that signals intelligence agencies are using those as a CNE method too? Welcome to Tradecraft Sunday. Technically, all web browser companies try to reduce what those browser extensions are permitted to do. They try to validate their code by scanning it for known malware, block them from access to privileged operations without users' consent, and so on. However, this is not always trivial, and it opens up an interesting cyber exploitation vector. Let's look at a recent, real-world example to make it easier to understand. On December 5th, 2018, the Atlas Security Engineering and Response Team, ACERT, of NetScout released this technical analysis uncovering a previously unknown cyber espionage operation which was active at least since May 2018. The operation was performed by North Korean cyber intelligence operatives targeting academic institutions with expertise in biomedical engineering. The operation involved emails targeting scientists in universities, trying to trick them to install a browser extension. More precisely, the phishing links had a lured document which said it cannot be viewed without installing the Auto Font Manager browser extension, and redirected the users there. If installed, that was covertly loading a cyber espionage software implant, allowing North Korean spies full access to the victim's device. If you'd like to understand all the technical details, please read the full analysis from NetScout. As always, links in the description. From the C&D perspective, browser extensions were much harder to detect, and for many organizations out there, they still are. This is why this method can make it much harder for defenders to detect it and disrupt it while it's still early. But that was the most trivial method of using browser extensions as a SIGINT collection technique. An even more clandestine method is to obtain access to a legitimate browser extension and modify it so that everyone that uses it will get compromised without even knowing it, just through the extension's updates. Furthermore, some of those browser extensions are developed and maintained by students or individuals, so the HUMINT factor is also an easy means. A spy agency can pay that software developer to sell the browser extension to them, pretending to be another developer or a small company, and then use it as an infiltration method. But how common is this CNE technique in today's espionage world? In March 2023, the German BFV, in collaboration with the South Korean NIS, published this intelligence report, describing how North Korean operatives used browser extensions in Chrome as cyber espionage software implants in order to steal information from South Korean and German entities. Or here, in June of 2018, when Checkpoint Threat Intelligence Research Team published this analysis, stating that they discovered a high volume of Chinese threat operation which has infected over 250 million computers worldwide. The installed malware, Fireball, takes over target browsers and turns them into zombies. Fireball has two main functionalities: the ability of running any code on victim computers, downloading any file or malware, and hijacking and manipulating infective users' web traffic to generate ad revenue. Currently, Fireball installs plugins and additional configurations to boost its advertisements, but just as easily it can turn into a prominent distributor for any additional malware. This operation is run by Rafotec, a large digital marketing agency based in Beijing. Rafotec uses Fireball to manipulate the victims' browsers and turn their default search engines and home pages into fake search engines. This redirects the queries to either yahoo.com or google.com. The fake search engines include tracking pixels used to collect the user's private information. Fireball has the ability to spy on victims, perform efficient malware dropping, and execute any malicious code in the infected machines. This creates a massive security flaw in targeted machines and networks. Or in 2021, with the InfoSecurity magazine writing that Chinese Communist Party-backed hackers have been spying on Tibetan activists via a malicious new Firefox extension, according to Proofpoint. The security vendor explained that it had seen low-level phishing campaigns against the Tibetan diaspora since March 2020, but that these took another turn in the first 2 months of 2021 with the use of a customized malicious extension dubbed Firefox. We attribute this activity to threat actor 413, who in addition to the Firefox browser extension, was also observed delivering both Scanbox and Sepulture malware to Tibetan organizations in early 2021, it added. Proofpoint has previously reported on Sepulture malware and its links to the Lucky Cat and Exile Rat malware campaigns that targeted Tibetan organizations. Threat actor 413 itself is believed to be an advanced persistent threat group aligned with the Chinese state. The malware is delivered via spear phishing emails, spoofing senders such as the Bureau of His Holiness the Dalai Lama in India and the Tibetan Women's Association. They typically feature a malicious link leading to a fake Adobe Flash Player update which will execute JavaScript to scan the target's machine. These scripts will then decide whether to deliver the Firefox payload, which provides access to the victim's Gmail account. It has been designed to search for, archive, read, delete, forward and mark emails as spam, as well as access to browser tabs on Firefox, modify privacy settings, and access user data for all websites. The attackers also try to download Scanbox malware, a JavaScript-based reconnaissance framework dating back to 2014, which can track visitors to certain websites, perform key logging, and collect user data for use in future intrusion attempts. One of the earliest cyber espionage operations that is publicly known for having used browser extensions as a CNE technique comes from Russia's FSB, and more precisely the 16th Center, also known as the Center for Electronic Communication Surveillance. Bitdefender published this intelligence report in 2016, describing several of their operations. As we read, Bitdefender detected and blocked an ongoing cyber espionage campaign against Romanian institutions and other foreign targets. The attacks started in 2014, with the latest reported occurrences in May of 2016. And later in the report we see this, saying that the infection starts from a document cv_mate_dimitrescu.doc. The document is constructed in the same way as the documents containing the other variant of the malware. The script in it has the same functionality. It will create and execute the dropper, application data Microsoft Word msword.exe, and actually, as you can read, it says that the extension file will be renamed to the file name, then will be installed in Firefox. In the browser, it will appear with the name langpack engb 15.0.0 as in the picture below. Coming from 2014, this is one of the earliest, if not the earliest, use of browser extensions as a CNE infiltration vector by a nation-state actor. There were others, primarily cybercriminals, that employed similar techniques even before that, but here our focus is on nation-state actors. Note though that spy agencies regularly observe what successful criminals do, since the techniques tend to be identical. The only difference is the motivation. criminals want to steal money, while spies want to steal secrets. Despite this being an over-decade-old C&E technique, it's still used today, and for many organizations it's very hard to detect those, as they aren't following the expected exploitation avenues. But this is exactly what makes this a unique SIGINT tradecraft technique, because it weaponizes something benign, exemplifying what we always say: nothing's as it seems.